In this video, we're going to be talking about solo traveling. Hey you guys, my name is Raquel and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have been solo traveling for a few years now. I've been to a lot of countries within the US, including North Carolina, Georgia, Missouri, Chicago, LA, you name it. I've probably been there solo. And out of the country, I've been to Greece and Cuba solo, and I've been getting a lot of questions about the things that I do while I'm solo traveling. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing the benefits of solo traveling and some of my top tips I like to utilize while I'm solo traveling. So if solo traveling is something that you're interested in, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. I think one of the main reasons and main incentives for solo traveling is that you don't have to wait on other people to go and see the world. I don't have to wait on my friends getting their PTO approved. I don't have to wait for them to save their money to book the flight. I can just get up and go whenever I'm ready. I honestly want to see the world, and if I can travel to 6 countries per year and my friends can only travel to 2, you do the math. How many countries would you really be able to see in your lifetime? With solo travel, I feel like you also get a lot of freedom and a lot of flexibility to just do what you want, how you want to do it, when you want to do it, without having to worry about anybody else's opinion, what they want to do, how comfortable they are. It's really about you and the experience that you want to have while you're solo traveling. I think solo traveling has also built my confidence so much and brought so much peace to my life to be able to go through different trials, tribulations, highs and lows. And if I can get through that, I can get through anything that I put my mind to. I have so many stories about my solo traveling experiences that, listen, if I can get through that, like I said, I can get through anything, and I'll talk about that later in the video. And I think one of the biggest things and concerns about solo traveling is that you think the world is so scary. The world is not as scary as you think, and the same thing that can happen to you internationally or in a different country can happen to you right in your front yard. So stop thinking the world is that scary. The world is a scary place. It's not as scary and bad as you think, but I'm going to talk about some safety tips so those concerns and scares and fears can go right out the window. Y'all, in the middle of me recording, somebody want to say hi. Say hi, Bentley. He's trying to lick my face. Say hi. You see, he said hi. That's Bentley, y'all. He wanted to be in the video. So I already made a video about my safety travel essentials that I like to travel with to keep me safe while I'm solo traveling. So if you haven't checked out that video, be sure to check it out. But some of my top safety tips while you're solo traveling is, 1, never tell anyone that you're traveling alone. Mainly because it's none of their business. You don't want people following you, tracking your location, knowing your whereabouts, plotting on your well-being because they know that you're alone. And by telling people that you're alone just makes you more vulnerable for something to happen. You can always lie and tell people that you're there with your husband, your boyfriend, your friends. And if you are out by yourself and people are like, well, where are those people? Oh, like they're back at the room sleep waiting for me to come back. Just lie. Like, lying is going to be your best friend while you're solo traveling, because at the end of the day, it's nobody's business to know if you're there alone or not. There are going to be situations where people may be asking if you're traveling solo because they're also traveling solo and they're looking to build a relationship. So you really have to go with your instincts, especially for my females. We have this gut instinct. If it doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. But if you feel like you can trust this person, you had conversations with them, sometimes it can be okay to tell people that you're traveling alone because those people may be in the same exact boat and they may just be looking for a friend. Secondly, you need to share your itinerary and your location with your family and friends. I'm a planner, so I know exactly where I'm going to be, about what time I'm going to be there, who I'm going to be with. I have all the details laid out, and I make sure I share that with my family and friends because I want them to know exactly where I am, what I'm doing, who I'm with. God forbid anything is to happen to me, they can ensure that I'm safe. They can get in contact with someone if they can't get in contact with me personally, and they can make sure that I'm returning home safely because I am traveling solo. So you just want to make sure that you're sharing your location with your family and friends to ensure that you're safe. In that same breath, you don't want to share your location on social media in real time. We know geotags are a big thing, and people can pinpoint your location at any point and then find you, and then who knows what happens from there. So I never share my location on social media in real time. I don't post on social media of where I am until a day or two later, sometimes until I'm out of that city, state, or whatever completely, because I don't want people to be checking my geotab, clicking on my location, being in the same location that I am in, and then finding me, following me again. I just want to make sure that I'm staying safe by all means necessary, however way I can possible. Another game changer while you're solo traveling is downloading Google Maps offline. That was a mouthful, but literally you just have to download the app, type in the city that you're going to be visiting, and click download, and you'll literally have the map of the entire city right on your phone without having any internet, without having any service. It works completely offline, and that was a game changer for me. When I was in Cuba, a lot of people didn't speak English, so it was very difficult for me to communicate about 75% of the time. So being able to navigate without having to ask for directions, to be able to walk around with confidence, especially if you're in a dire situation where you do lose internet by any means necessary, you have a map right offline on your phone to help you get around. Google, you did your thing. You did your big one with that. So yeah, definitely download the Google Maps offline. Again, you want to walk around with confidence. You don't want to look lost. You don't want to look scared. You don't want to look confused. And again, I like to keep one headphone in so I can hear my navigation while it's talking. But also, I keep one headphone in because I want to make sure I'm aware of my surroundings, people walking by me, around me, behind, like, I need to be aware at all times. So that was definitely a game changer for me. And I definitely recommend if you're solo traveling and you're walking around by yourself. But if you are lost and confused, still be intentional about it. If you're walking, you see a bench or a bus stop, try to walk to that bench or bus stop and sit on your phone to try to figure it out, making it seem like you're waiting for someone, something, a bus, train, whatever. Or if you find a location that has a restroom, go to the restroom, lock yourself in there, and figure out what you need to figure out on your phone. So when you're getting up or you're coming out of the restroom, it's like, okay, I know exactly where I'm going, exactly where my destination is, just so you're not like, waiting for somebody to come pickpocket me. Like, you don't want to look lost and confused. Be intentional, move with purpose with everything that you're doing, because you just never know who's watching you. Also, blend in with the locals, y'all. Like, if you're in a city where everybody's wearing, for example, sweatpants and tank tops, you might want to wear sweatpants and tank tops. Like, try to blend in with the locals. Don't wear designer things. Don't wear flashy jewelry. You just don't want to draw any extra attention to yourself that is not necessary, especially as a solo traveler. And the last tip I want to give y'all regarding safety is research, research, research. You want to choose a destination that is good for solo traveling. Maybe you want to Google what are the best places to solo travel as a Black woman. Do your research. Figure out what are the most common crimes in that destination. When is sunset and sunrise in that destination? Does the destination have public transportation? Because a lot of places don't have public transportation, and you're just popping up in this country and you know nothing about it. So now you're definitely going to be lost. You're definitely going to be confused. You're definitely going to feel unsafe and uncomfortable because you're going somewhere that's unfamiliar to you. So as a solo traveler, you have to do a lot of research. I can't stress that enough. Research until you're blue in the face, until you're so comfortable you can travel to the destination with your eyes closed. That's how much research that you have to do. And the first thing you want to research is the destination. Some destinations are better to travel to solo than others, and that's information that you really want to know. So when it comes to safety, do your research first and foremost. That's like the most important thing when it comes to solo traveling, is making sure that you do your research. And that's all I'm going to say about that. One thing that really drives me crazy when I'm solo traveling is when people say that solo traveling is boring, that you'll be so lonely, and that is not true. There are ways for you to meet people while you're solo traveling and to combat loneliness so you're not alone all the time. If you want to be alone 24/7, that's your choice, but there are so many ways that you can meet people and, you know, get involved. And my favorite way to do that is by staying in a hostel. I said it. I love hostels, and if you don't know what a hostel is basically like a inexpensive lodging. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. It's inexpensive and it has dormitory style sleeping arrangements. Some hostels do provide private rooms if you do want to stay in a private room, but what hostels offer is like a community. There are a lot of other solo travelers that stay in hostels that you can easily connect with. Hostels, they plan and organize a lot of activities, so you can do cooking classes right at the hostel, painting classes right at the hostel, yoga right at the hostel. Some hostels have pools, so you have a lot of solo travelers and people staying in the hostel, like gathering around this common area. They also plan things outside of the hostel as well, where the group gets involved. People make a group chat for people that are staying in the hostel, so you can go out with these people. Like, it just brings a safe space, a community, things to do, people that you can meet while you're solo traveling. I love hostels. I stand for hostels, and I'm in my mid-20s, and there are like age restrictions for some hostels, so if you're able to experience it while you're in your mid-20s, 18 to mid-20s, even up to your 30 and older, if that's what you're into and you want to experience it, it's never too late. I highly recommend. I love hostels. Maybe I'll make a video about things you should and shouldn't do while staying in a hostel and things to look out for, tips, things like that. But I stand for a hostel. I love a hostel and I highly recommend. And real quick, I'm gonna just tell y'all a story about how staying in a hostel actually like saved my life. Maybe I'm being over dramatic, but I felt unsafe and I felt uncomfortable. I was vlogging in Greece and some guy started following me. He eventually approached me and was asking me so many questions about where are my friends, where am I staying, can he join me, while I was just trying to grab some food. And he ended up randomly sitting at a table with another girl, and she allowed us to sit there with them. And I didn't want to like tell him off because I didn't want to make the situation worse than it was, and I didn't know his intentions, and I just didn't want to make things worse. So I sat at this table with her and we instantly bonded with each other because we were staying in the same hostel and we was locked in for the rest of the night. She was like, do you know this guy? And I'm like, no, I don't know him. Like, da 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 da. She was like, don't worry about it. And we were friends. Like, we're friends, locked in. She made sure that I was so safe just because I was another solo traveler. We were staying in the same hostel. We ended up going back to the hostel together, walking together, so we wasn't walking alone, and it was late at night. So yeah, staying in the hostel and being able to bond over that experience helped me make a friend. She made sure that I was safe while this stranger was making me feel unsafe. So I love hostels. I highly recommend staying in a hostel if you can experience it. Some of them are very nice and very clean and very safe. You just gotta do your research about what different hostels offer, how they look, read the reviews, look at the pictures. Yeah, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Another way I really like to combat loneliness while I'm solo traveling is going on pre-booked social activities. So that can mean taking a cooking class, going on a walking tour. There are group activities being offered, but you're able to join as an individual. So that way I'm still meeting people, making friends, but I'm also doing something in a social setting, in a group setting, so I'm not by myself all the time. And after I do those social activities to get my footing, to meet locals in that country, I take a few days to actually be by myself and enjoy my solo experience. And I feel like, again, being able to have that freedom and flexibility to be like, you know what, I want to be with people today, and be like, you know what, today I actually want to be by myself and enjoy that experience by myself. Pre-booking activities are like my thing. Like I said, I'm a planner. I like to know exactly what I'm doing, about what time I plan on doing it. And then some days I just want to move off of vibes. So that's another way that you can just get involved and, you know, not be so alone while you're solo traveling if you don't want to. Always carry copies of important documents. You want to have a few copies on your computer, maybe on your mobile file app, and you want to have physical copies to carry around with you at all times, just in case anything happens, just in case you need to have some form of identification, you have that. So have copies of your passport, copies of your driver's license. Maybe you have to have a vaccine, have a copy of that. Anything that is important while you're traveling, make sure to have extra copies on you, like on your person, on your computer or laptop, on your phone, and back in your room, just in case, y'all. It's all about being prepared. Like, stay ready till you don't have to get ready. Cash and credit cards. So anytime I'm traveling internationally, I always like to travel with the local currency, and I like to bring USD dollars just in case I run out of the local currency and I need to do another money exchange while I'm in that country to get more of the local currency. When I'm trying to convert my money, I like to do it at my local banks. Whether you have Chase, Bank of America, TD, you can go to your local bank and they can do the money exchange for you. You can order it, then go pick it up in a day or two. Play it safe, y'all. Give yourself at least 48 to 72 hours if that is the route that you want to take. But you can also go to money exchanges in the airport in the US or wherever you're traveling from. Or once you get to your destination, you can go to their money exchanges, or you can do a money exchange in the airport, just depending upon what that country offers. I also travel with my travel credit card. So if I run out of any type of physical dollars, I can go to the ATM or to the bank, withdraw more money. Y'all, do not run out of money on your trip. Like, when I took my first solo trip to Cuba, I ran out of money, and that was kind of like the worst thing I could ever experience. Like, when you're traveling solo, you always have to plan to spend more money because you can't split the cost with anybody else, and you still want to buy like little knickknacks and things that you want to bring back home, and money just be going. So yeah, don't be like me and run out of money. Make sure you have extra money, backup money, cards. Make sure that your cards and the money actually works in the country that you're in. So like in Cuba, US citizens, our bank cards are not going to work at the ATMs. Yeah, I learned my lesson, and I hope y'all can learn from me. Like, don't run out of money. But when you are traveling with a lot of cash, a lot of the time I split my money up. Like, I divide my money and I put it in different places. God forbid something happens, somebody breaks into my room, breaks into my suitcase, breaks into my locker. All of my valuables and all of my money is just not in one place, and then they done got me for everything that I got. Like, so yeah, divide your money up, keep it in different places, your suitcase, your locker, your passport, your laptop case. Like, keep money all over, so yeah, people don't rob you, get all that you have. Yeah, don't do it, and don't run out of money like I did. Okay, if this isn't already on your travel checklist, be sure to add it, and that's having some type of travel health insurance. You want to make sure that you're getting the best care possible, especially as a solo traveler, just in case you need it. I don't really get sick, but I do have asthma, and sometimes I have asthma attacks that require me to go to the emergency room. So just so I don't have to deal with any of the financial burden, I have travel health insurance when I'm traveling internationally, so that can just be squared away. Even if you don't get sick, things happen, emergencies sometimes occur, so you just want to make sure that you're prepared. You have some type of travel insurance, and some travel insurance companies also cover other things. You just have to do your research and see what they do cover. For example, if your luggage is lost or stolen, they do reimburse you for that lost and stolen luggage. So make sure you have travel health insurance. Make sure you have travel insurance. Add it to your next travel checklist because it's just so important to have, just in case you need it. This may mean different things to different people, but make sure that you're packing light. For me, it be me, my carry-on suitcase, and my book bag against the world. Like, that's all I need. As a solo traveler, I don't want to have all these extra bags to be responsible for. If I'm traveling from destination to destination, I want to worry about paying to check my bag everywhere I'm going. And if I'm taking public transportation, I want to make sure that my bags can easily fit above in an overhead bin, on a bus, on a train, whatever the case may be. And in some countries, the roads are not like paved, so it may be cobblestone, it may be dirt roads, it may be rocky. So carrying multiple suitcases or a really big suitcase is just not convenient. It's not comfortable. It's a struggle, and you don't have an extra person there to help you with your luggage. So just pack light, keep it easy, keep it simple. Like I said, me, my carry-on suitcase, and my book bag. That's all I need. You don't have to have it all figured out. When I'm solo traveling, I like to plan, planning where I'm staying, planning some of the things I'm doing, how I'm going to get around, researching what are some of the cultural norms. Those things you need to do, you need to research, and you need to plan. But don't get so anxious and overwhelmed about knowing every single small detail, especially if you've never been to that country before. Like, sometimes you'll just figure it out. You'll go with the flow. You'll learn new things from locals. You'll learn new things from people that have been visiting longer than you. They'll give their recommendations, so things can change in the blink of an eye. So you don't have to have everything planned and figured out. Not every small detail, at least. All the important basic things when traveling to a new country, of course, you want to make sure you have those things figured out, but don't stress yourself out about all the little things. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Those are like all of my main tips when you're solo traveling, but one more thing. Follow your gut. Solo traveling is not the time to be taking like crazy risks, but be a little frisky. Have fun, follow your gut, don't stress too much, don't allow your fears to overtake you. Just have fun. You got this. Solo traveling is so empowering, it's so fun, it's such a confidence builder, and like I said before, once you do it once, you're never going to stop wanting to not travel by yourself. I love solo traveling. The next place I plan on taking my next solo trip is to Japan, so stay tuned for that. I plan on traveling solo to Japan. I do know some people that are going to be there during the same time as me, so I'm looking forward to connecting with them and linking up with some of my friends and stores. But you got this, guys. Solo traveling is not hard. It can be super easy. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to get back to all of them. Y'all, 2024 is going to be the year of traveling. Solo traveling, group travel, girls trips, we got this. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. It means so much if you watched it all the way to the end of this video. If you enjoyed what I had to say today, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. And until next time.